leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the trick of the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives, live here on Strong Island Television and Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa, New York. You know, my co-host usually is the very handsome Rich Walker, and at this point he would say, and our sponsor for tonight's show, and I always forget, is Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. I'm surprised I remembered without Richie here. But I always tell Richie, when he can't make the show, I bring in a pretty lady to make him feel bad. So he's sitting at home right now going, I can't believe it.
Richie, I miss you. I'm sorry you don't feel that way.
Feel better.
But...
Richie had a surgery, and we could just say HIPAA from there. We can't really say. We can't say HIPAA. Yeah. We can't say what the surgery was. But you know, it has nothing to do with his rashes. That's a whole separate issue that we can't talk about. HIPAA. All right.
It's going to be completely fine tomorrow.
But I have Marquetta. Now, you're like Madonna with my friends. There's nobody else Marquetta. You know what I'm saying? You are unique in that way. But your last name is Jefferson because you have a few names, right?
Yeah.
On like Facebook or whatever. So
yeah.
Would I say my co-host tonight is Marquetta Jefferson?
Yeah, I had to get married and divorced, you know, to get better name.
I was going to say, what country are you from again?
Czech Republic.
You were born in the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Came here when I was 18. Didn't speak a word of English.
Right, and now you only speak 5 words of English.
Yes, 6.
I'm so bad.
Forget that.
No, but I love your English. So in the Czech Republic, the name Jefferson is very popular. What was your
my maiden name is Kačírková.
Oh.
Kačírková. You can say it.
I can't say it.
No.
Try, say it again.
Kačírková.
You said it so fast.
You hardly say my first name, Marquetta. So
Marquetta. It took me 2 years to get Marquetta.
Yeah.
All right, forget about the last name right now. We'll work on that on the pickleball
It
court.
means little duck, actually.
It does?
Yeah, Kačírek, little duck.
Little duck, but that's kind of
So
cute.
call me little duck. It's fine.
Oh, that's what I'm going to call you, Marquetta, little duck, until you smack me.
Excuse me, I'm very sorry, little duck. Can the little duck just speak a little bit louder?
Got you.
That's perfect. Thank you.
And Bobby, if you could turn the volume up, she has a low voice and I have a big fat voice. So thank you for filling in tonight.
Thank you.
Because I know you have a busy schedule, but with your new career, you're off at night now. Because you used to say I can't play pickleball.
Yeah, I always work for it. But it was good because you called me this morning and you go, can you fill in for Richie? I was like, sure. Who is on? He goes, male stripper. I was like, I'm in.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Did you know I used to strip?
What time is he coming?
Did you know that I used to do some male stripping at parties? Like, I did.
So that's you?
But I had to pay them. Okay. Yeah, I didn't make a lot of money.
So I'm here, even if he comes or not.
Do you watch TV? Are you a baseball fan at all? Czech Republic, they don't play baseball over there,
hockey.
Right? Hockey,
I
they
don't
play.
watch sports, sorry. I just play pickleball.
Do you ever hear the commercial say, hey, is that Patrick? I can't see, it's so small. Patrick McDonald, there he is. It's Johnny Plug time. Say hello to our biggest fan, Marquetta. Our biggest fan right there, Patrick McDonald.
Patrick, hi.
And we have a fellow U.S. Marine on tonight, Patrick, if you're going to hang out. Butch said he served in a similar area than you, so hopefully you're going to hang out. Thank you for watching again. So on the Met game, there's a commercial for if your windshield breaks in your car and they come to your house and it's Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace. So my windshield cracked in my 2007 Saturn. And I called and I needed inspection. So I called it doesn't leave Belmore, that car. Okay. Like we could leave it out front for weeks. Doesn't move. So I called my guy and I go, listen, needs inspection. The windshield's a little cracked. Can we get away with that? He goes, well, why don't you get the windshield replaced? You probably have insurance, which I did. But now all week I've been doing Safe Light repairs like all freaking day. My grandson, I did a little video today. This poor guy was out in the heat today.
That's what I was saying. I just did a video for my people. I was like, I'm so sorry if you guys working outside. I don't know how you do it.
And listen,
that's admiring.
Remember, I was a firefighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so used to heat.
And we used to be outside at fires in this weather with gear on. And one of my young brother firefighters, who I was communicating with today, who's still on, as we say in the fire department, the jab. He's still on the jab, Maqueta. I shouldn't breathe that way because I had the garlic and spinach. Did you smell it?
I didn't faint. It's all good. I'm good.
So he's like, yeah, we have to overhaul today, I may pass out. I go, if I was watching you overhaul today, I'd pass out. And overhauls, when the fire's dying down, they pull the ceilings. It's called overhaul. So that was that. So I got the windshield repaired. But listen, I don't know if you know Big Tipper Johnny L yet. Have you gone out with me one night when the check comes and Johnny's like getting his wallet, his credit card out? You know what I mean? You haven't been with Big Tipper Johnny L yet. No. So he's sweating his petunias off for an hour and a half in front of my house.
What is he sweating?
His petunias. His petunias. I'll define what that means later.
That's
petunias. That's in the Johnny L dictionary.
Okay.
Right, different time. So was Scungil. That's page 12. If I call you Scungil, term of endearment. Yeah, last night in the baseball, I'm jumping all over because I took my Vyvanse today. But last night in the baseball game for my grandson, all the kids are out in the field, and I wanted to tell my grandson to move a little deeper. So I go, hey, Scungil! Everybody turns around. The opposing pair, what the freak is wrong with this guy? Who's Scungil? Well, my grandson who I was talking to. So now the guy's working an hour and a half out there, sweating, right? And I gave him some water. I filled his cup up with ice water. So he's leaving. So I dipped into the wallet. I had cash, cash.
Cash is gold.
And I said, he's $3, buddy. But no, he's $5. What do you think? How much? How much should I give him?
I mean, what's the price?
It was including my insurance, so I didn't pay anything for the window or the labor or anything. So what should I tip this man who was sweating?
What can you buy for $3?
I didn't give him $3.
You just said
I'm
$3.
starting low, so when you hear what I gave you, you're gonna go, oh, unbelievable, John.
Yeah, $3.50.
What do you think I gave? No, come on, Big Tipper Johnny L. Okay. I went like this. Look. Yeah. That means Big Dipper when you go like this.
And you're not talking about once, like $1, $2.
Not $1. No, what do you think? What? How much?
Knowing you, 20.
On the nose, chicken noodle soup. That's what I call my granddaughter. Okay. On the nose, 20 beans. Yeah, I probably could have given him 30 though. But 20, he was very happy with it. He was very happy with it. So I have a beautiful new window on my 2007 beat up freaking piece of crap Saturn. My daughter was in a car accident, let's say around 2014, in the gas station. You know the cement things that guard the tanks? Well, she made the turn too tight and put a hole in the side of the Saturn. It's made of plastic. It's not, Saturns are like plastic.
Yeah.
Big fat hole. I got black duct tape because the car is black. And I taped it up in 2012 temporarily. Tape is still there.
How many miles do you have on it?
Only about 120 because the car doesn't move. It stays in front of the house. Why, you looking to buy a Saturn? What kind of car you drive, Fancy Pants? I bet you have a nice...
It's blue. It's nice. I love it.
You know what car. Because I can see you with the windows rolled down and your Maqueta accent, driving around
music,
down.
Check
Hey, you
music,
doing?
check the check out. Yeah, that's what I do.
What song would Maqueta be playing as she's driving? Wind is blowing in her hair. Sunroof is open. Guys are getting in car accidents. She's driving. And what song is playing on the radio or on the Sirius?
My favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Sunday, Bloody Sunday by U2.
Oh, I don't know it.
That.
I don't know.
You know U2.
I don't know U2.
Oh,
I'm not a fan. I'm not saying.
You guys have to know U2.
I'm not a fan.
U2?
Not a fan.
Sunday,
I'm an old fart.
Oh,
I'm like James Taylor and Bruce Springsteen and.
Brooks is great.
I'm going to listen to it, though. I'm going to listen to it on the way home. I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
What else did I want to talk about? Oh, look. Now, first of all, this is funny because Richie's not here. Richie does a joke. Where is it? Oh, about Pine Lawn Cemeteries. You see Richie's act, no? And he does, I got a card in the mail for Pine Lawn Cemetery. I've never gotten a card in the mail for, what did I get today from Pine Lawn?
No way. That's, yeah.
And Richie's not here.
And he's
Pine Lawn.
because he's not here. You got
Yeah. So I got that today. Now, you ever see this magazine, my friend, ordering, our studio ordering? You ever see this?
Yeah, I get it for my business.
Did you ever order out of it?
No.
How long have you been getting it?
4 years now.
10 years easy. I've never bought a thing. Look at this. How is this company making money?
I know, right?
I don't understand it. But what I want to do is, because I'm so happy that you are filling in for Richie.
He's not.
I'm going to buy you something out of this magazine.
Oh, really? They have some good stuff.
Well, I'm not going to let you pick it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Look what I'm doing. You see what I'm doing?
Yes, stop.
All right. No, you don't stop it because you're going to cheat. Are you ready? Here's what I'm going to do.
You looking?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you're looking.
There it is. Look, I'm going to buy you.
Bucket to do what?
Garbage pails, 5 different colors. I'm going to buy that. Listen, what do you have? You have a big maqueta house or apartment or a condo? What do you got?
I have a little house.
You don't got a little house. You're maqueta. Maqueta doesn't have a little house. All the animals are jumping out the windows and everything.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we had an added guest tonight because John screwed up and forgot I booked Monica Daly. So before we go to commercial, I'm going to bring in Monica Daly. Let's bring Monica right in.
Yeah, that's it.
And first, as John always does with most of his guests, I'm sorry I'm an idiot. I apologize. Forgot I asked you to come on because you said I couldn't do last week. Can I do next week? And John's walking down the street probably with his granddaughter. She's crying. I'm like, yeah, come next week. And I forgot to write it in.
But there she is.
There's Monica.
It worked out.
Wonderful, wonderful comic in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. Richie and I went down. We had to sleep in the same bed because I wasn't paying for a second room. And I kept my luggage on the other bed. Whole different story. But that's where I like to keep my luggage. Richie says, I'll sleep in that bed. And I'm like, that's for my luggage. So we alternated. He slept for an hour and I slept for an hour. So hi, Monica.
Hi, John.
Can we turn our volume up a little bit, or can you turn yours up, or just talk a little louder, one or the other? So, Monica, a little bit about your background. Not only you a comic, but you were in the military.
Right. I was in the Army. I'm an Army vet. My dad was in the Air Force. And then about 7 years ago, friends of mine had just come back from Afghanistan. And they saw at a Starbucks a sign on the wall that said, are you a veteran? Are you a military member? Would you like to learn how to do stand-up? Please rip this off the wall. And they called me and said, wouldn't it be great if we took this class? And I said, yes. And then they didn't sign up because I called them and said, I got in the class. I can't wait to see you. And they went, oh, I never applied. And so that's how I know Vinny, who was a guest on your show from last week. Vinny and I were both part of something called the Armed Services Arts Partnership. The kid who created it wasn't fast enough to get asap.org. So we're under asap.org. But we provide stand-up, storytelling, graffiti art, a plethora of playwriting, script writing classes in DC, Norfolk, Indianapolis, San Diego, and then online for free for active duty military veterans like myself, military family members, and military caregivers.
Love it. We just did the Bronx Veterans Hospital. We did a show there. Fantastic. Peter's going to talk about that when he gets here. He's Richie's partner in the school. So, and we're working on the Heroes Tour. So I'm going to try to include you guys if we do a show kind of in the middle. It's good to know now that I have a few more comics that I know that are veterans and all that, because you were so funny. But when you're away from home, even if for the day, it's so nice when people are so welcoming and make you feel so comfortable. And you guys were awesome. You were awesome.
Well, yeah, and it was a weird weekend, right? Because it was just before the U.S. Army's birthday weekend. So lots of things were starting to shut down. But yeah, I think, and Busboys and Poets is a great venue. It's a really tremendous venue. The people around there are great. Ramin, who is the headliner, is a fantastic comic. He's a really good human.
He's a headliner. You can tell, there are certain comics that can close a show. I can close a show. I can headline a show. I'm not a headliner. I would never tell anybody I'm a headliner. But when you sometimes like a booker is looking for somebody that'll work really cheap to close a show, then they call me. You know what I'm saying? But if they want a true headliner, that guy slammed that show. Now, you got to watch where you put him. He was a little, he was strong. He was strong.
Listen, so all of us who do comedy have, like, when I teach, we have a PG-13 rule for our comics, and they all look at me like, "Are you kidding me? I was in the military." I'm like, "So was I. We'll get through it. You'll be fine." I'm one of the bluest comics I know, but not at the show I was on with you, because those were the rules, right? Those were the rules.
Hey, most shows that I do, volunteer firehouses, I never tell. All I ask the comics is two things: don't be raunchy. Like,
right,
you could drop the F-bomb if it's in your act, and no politics. Only because you don't want, especially the guy who's paying the booker. If he's on the other side of the fence, I lose a job, losing money for my family.
I 100% agree with that. You abide by the rules of the room. You abide by whoever's paying you. That's the rule. And if you can't do comedy inside of those rules, you shouldn't do comedy.
Most people that know me in Long Island, would you be quiet already?
Mm-hmm.
Most people.
I'm trying to.
Most people that book me in Long Island, they request one thing: don't do any stand-up. I'll pay you if you go. You've been to one or two of my shows.
Yes, I loved it, actually. It was
fun. He's very funny.
You had fun, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of squeezed you in tonight, so we have to have you back. But tell me, where are you going to be performing if people that are watching in that area can come out and see you? Because you're funny.
Sure. Friday, I'll be performing at El Rey at the filling station in Arlington. And then Saturday, I'm headlining at the Church of Satire in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Monica, I'm sorry. You know what Stunat is?
I do. My mom's family's Italian.
That's me. That's my middle name. Yeah. So I'm going to have you back. I am so sorry, but thank you for hanging out and doing a quick spot.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
From the DC area. What I'm going to do, which is before we go to the commercial, I want to bring Michael, and then we'll do commercial, because I just want to make sure we leave time for everybody. So let's bring in U.S. Marine Mike Ball, U.S. Marine. Thank you for your service, my friend.
Well, I appreciate you having me here tonight and giving me this opportunity. So thank you as well.
Are you in your yard?
I'm in the backyard by the pool, living the life.
Nice.
So are you like me? You've been told to sit out in the yard when you're doing anything.
My family's so unimpressed with the phone calls that I make that I sit outside and I bother the neighbors.
They're unimpressed. Michael, it's so nice to have you. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the military, where you grew up, what inspired you to go into the military.
So I blame Hollywood. I blame Rambo. I blame any awful 80s movie that had some type of military in it that really caught my eye and made me want to join the Marine Corps. Even back when I was like 5 to 6 years old, I knew that the Marine Corps was the road that I needed to take. And I was infatuated with it, and I still am to this day. So it was the perfect choice for me.
Wow.
That's young.
Do you have anything? Because I'm sorry, Richie.
I'm listening.
Richie normally will cut me off and smack me because I talk too much.
No, go ahead.
I'm good.
No, I will cut in. Don't
just
worry.
Smack me or hit me when you have a question or whatever.
I smack
But here's the thing. It's interesting what you just said, because I've seen firefighter movies, Backdraft back in the day or whatever, and Dennis Leary had the show, right? But really, the job isn't like that all the time, so to speak, or that excitement. So when you went into the military, were you disappointed initially that it wasn't what you thought it was going to be?
Well, they treat us so badly so much that you don't have time to even think about anything else except for getting through the day. Marine Corps has a reputation of training hard at all times and keeping you occupied as much as possible.
Mike, Patrick is asking where in New Jersey.
Where in New Jersey? I live in East Hanover, New Jersey.
Patrick, where are you, Patrick? Patrick's in Jersey. Hey, Peter. He'll get back to us. So, all right, you go in the military, and like you said,
John, you should excuse me. You should probably explain. Patrick is a Marine as well, who also served in Desert Storm. And John, tell him who Pat is.
He's your friend.
Well, he's our number one viewer.
Oh, he's our number one viewer. Patrick is on. Thank you, Butch, for coming in for the 5th time. Did I say that out loud? Did I? That's rude if I said it out loud, Marquetta.
You told me I can come in. He can come in too. Come on.
I'd rather have
Patrick.
this face.
So who is Patrick?
Who is Patrick? He's one of our biggest viewers. So, all right, Michael. So you're in the military. You saw some action.
I was in Desert Storm. Yeah,
Okay.
we were pretty busy over there.
All right, pretty busy. You get out of the military. How many years you serve?
4 years.
4 years. Any side effects from being in the military?
Well, I was involved with Desert Storm, and the burn pits were a very big problem. They were burning oil fields, and we burned all our trash, and some of the conditions like respiratory became a problem for myself, and I had to seek medical help for that. And I've been, obviously on asthma and respiratory medications for a while now.
All right. Now, what did you do to deal with some of the post-traumatic stress? You did a special program, right?
Right. So I started a charity, New Jersey Veterans Network. It's a mobile outreach team that aggressively seeks out veterans and provides them free resources, anything you could think of. And one thing I love doing is taking vets out for recreational therapy. We do a lot of different outdoor events. I've done Comic-Con, video games, hiking, hunting, fishing, paintball, gone to the Jet game, Giant games. So we really change it all up. Anything that'll excite someone and get them out and having fun. Really, that's what it's all about, is just really not being a boring old type of organization, and just really focusing on how to get people to enjoy themselves and really work as a team and getting out together.
Mike, how do you find the audience? How do you connect with these people?
So I'm a monster. I'm out there 2, 4, and 7. I go out there and I recruit people. I get the word out any way I can, and the word of mouth has how it started. But now I work with some of the biggest veteran organizations in the country, and I'm embedded with their leadership, and I'm able to go and speak at these different places and really recruit and also teach how to do this.
That's great. That's awesome.
We're working with Paws of War on July 31st, making a donation to them. We've worked with General Needs, LTD, Lonnie Sherman out in Long Island. I think he does some stuff in Jersey also. Unbelievable organizations. Like I said, we went to the Bronx Hospital the other day. So important for these guys to be around guys who served, because they can only understand.
Right. We don't turn anyone down. This country is really misrepresenting volunteers. We don't really treat our volunteers right. And when you have someone who's willing to volunteer and help somebody else, we latch on to them and let them really help us help others. And I think that's really where you asked earlier about my therapy, is helping others. That's where I know that I'm going to feel better knowing that I'm able to make a difference in someone's life. So that's how I function and get through the day, is being able to work hard and really make a difference by working with so many great people to be able to facilitate that.
There's something said about donating your time, right? We can all make donations, cash donations. And as Marquetta knows, big Johnny L with the checkbook, I'm always throwing money, right? I'm right, throwing money around. $350. Yeah. But to donate your time, like Peter Bales is the comic that's on tonight. He drove from Eastern Long Island to the Bronx to do a comedy show for veterans. And I guarantee you that when Peter drove home, he knew he did something really cool and really good, and it felt good. And that's what I find for most of the comics, because you've experienced being around veterans. It's a whole different group of guys who won't say, I need help.
It's a hard demographic. They are isolated. They really don't want to come out. And it's funny, I work with a lot of comics. Comics have really stepped up. Listen, there's no more depressed people than veterans in comics. So, it's a good mix. Comics really have understood the depression, and I'm not, it is funny, but it's not funny. It's true. So we able to connect veterans with comics on a lot of different events that we've done, and comics have came out and performed at multiple locations where we have veterans. So it's a great partnership, and people love to laugh, and it does make a difference in your life if you're happy, right?
Definitely.
Yep. I'm only meeting you 3 minutes before we went on the air because you filled in and you were nice enough to do that for us. I'm hoping that we can talk over the next week or two, and maybe Laughter Saves Lives could team up with you and do an event. We love going out with the veterans and making people laugh.
I would love that. That would be a great opportunity for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any events coming up that you want to speak about?
We are going to be doing Comic-Con this weekend. We have free tickets, over 100 tickets. It's in West Orange at the Cody Arena. So we're able to really provide any veteran that wants to go to that. And we are opening up our Operation Rebound Racing team, where we're going to be doing hikes, triathlons, runs, and all different types of athletic events. And if you want to join our team, go to njvn.org or send us an email at njvn1775@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to get you on board and really starting your mission of getting veterans better and helping them live a better way of life.
Is it only veterans that can join these things?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anyone that wants to help save a life and help a life will be happy to join us, and we will find the job for you and make you really part of our team.
Awesome.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hopefully you'll be allowed to go in the house now.
Probably another hour or two when the sun goes down.
I look forward to talking to you in the future, Mike, and doing something with you guys.
All right, thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. We're going to go to break, and we're going to be back with Jennifer Latini.
This is personal to me. I'm John Field, 9/11 responder and advocate. I walked the halls of Congress for 20 years. You too may qualify for the same 9/11 benefits as I do. It's true, it's the law. If you were south of Canal Street and you had any of the 69 cancers linked to 9/11, you may qualify for compensation up to $250,000 and free health care. Sadly, only 10% of you have enrolled. Access what you are owed. Call now to find out if you qualify. I fought side by side with Barasch and McGarry for 2 decades in Washington, D.C. to get benefits for all victims, not just responders. You owe it to yourself to call Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. I trust them. So can you.
In the middle of the show.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives. Hit it. Laughter Saves Lives.
What do I say?
Live.
Let's do it
Laughter
again.
Saves Lives.
Live.
She'll get it.
Next time.
Listen,
Sorry, Richie.
you're going to be here for
I'm
weeks.
trying hard.
Richie does.
forgive me.
We
I'm trying.
want Richie to take a few weeks off.
Yeah.
It's either look at you or Richie. Richie, you're off for a month.
Oh.
So we're
at this
back
baby.
with the lovely Jennifer Latini. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi.
When was the last time I saw you? Was it on the pickleball court last year?
Probably when I was trying to play.
When I was trying to
I can
teach
never
you?
learn.
I was trying to teach you.
I was the worst student.
You were not the worst student. There was one worse
I can't
than you.
run. I can't
There
get
was
the
one-
ball.
You had a bad teacher. That's
No,
it.
come on. What are you moving my
I
pool
can't see
for?
the dog.
You
I
can't
want to see
I
the
know.
doggy. I don't want to see your huge muscle.
So it's a long time since we've seen you.
Yes.
But some of the viewers don't know who you are. Give a little background because you have an unbelievable life and experience and attitude that you are one of my biggest inspirations. And that's a lot of times I respond to your post with, you inspire me. I don't know what else to say. But tell them a little bit about your life.
Thank you. I
you're
mean, I'm
welcome.
just me.
I know you're
I'm
just you,
Jen.
but you're awesome.
Briefly, I had a normal upbringing, and at 13, I got really sick. I contracted cardiomyopathy and needed a heart transplant. And after that, I was able to lead a pretty normal life. They had told my parents so back then that I might not live another 5-10 years after my transplant. And every birthday I hit 18 and I hit 20 and 25, 30, you know, and now I'm 42 years old.
You're what? 42. Baby. A baby.
I don't want to cry. That's all.
Oh, so like I've had a lot more extra bonus years, and throughout my life I've got to do a lot of amazing things, meet great people. I was a bartender.
She looked at me. Did you see that? She looked at me.
You know, he paid me $20 before I got a tip to
See
say
the
that.
$20? She knows I'm the big tipper, Jennifer.
Yeah.
No. So
But I just want to interrupt you because that's what I do when I'm an idiot. But if you would follow this girl on Facebook, you heard what she just said. Heart transplant. She's been in the hospital how many times?
a lot to count right
A
now.
lot?
Too, my life.
And
my
what are you
life
going
is a little
through? What, can
crazier.
you say what you're going through now?
Yeah, so I speak on organ donation. When I was younger, I was very scared. I really didn't know what was happening. And I did an event actually with Regis Philbin and Joe Torre and Frank Torre. And back then I was like, oh my God, who are all these old people? I didn't want to talk and share my story. And now I can't stop sharing just because I know what it's like to feel alone. And there's such a need for organ donors right now, especially in New York. We have the lowest number of registered organ donors in the state, which is kind of sad, especially we're supposed to be proud New Yorkers. So I try to share my story without kind of pressuring people, just explain to them that organ donation and needing a transplant can happen to anybody, anytime. And I've been very, very fortunate that I had my heart, knock on wood, July 6th. Yeah.
Can I hold it up?
It'll be 29 years. And this is my donor, Matthew.
Oh, wow.
He was 14 and I was 13 when I had my heart transplant.
Wow.
And without him, I wouldn't be here today. And I've been able to have a pretty amazing life. I have an amazing boyfriend who's here in the audience. As you see, I have, his name is Ron.
Doggy.
And we have a little doggy that we were going to adopt a cat. And we ended up with a 14-year-old Yorkie that we had now for a few weeks.
Did you walk out and think it was a cat? Or
I did.
Did
I
you
was
realize
like,
it was a dog, Jennifer?
Look at this little dog. And now it's a cat, and it's a cat dog.
And she's 14, right?
Yes. But
So-
for me, we both kind of help each other because I was working, I was bartending, I went to school for social work, and every time I did something, life just worked out differently. So I went to school for social work, I get sick, didn't work out. Moved to Vegas, didn't work out, came back, had some life in between that. I was a bartender, which I loved. Sadly, though, now my organs are failing, and I'm actually in the evaluation process for another heart and kidney transplant.
Wow.
So I'm doing all the evaluations, which is a little crazy. We're at doctors a lot. And I'm also on dialysis, which I have this beautiful little port. It's like a little thing protruding out of my chest, but it's my lifeline. And it keeps me alive. I go there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in between that, I see lots of doctors, lots of scans right now, testing. So they're hoping that I will be back on the transplant list, fingers crossed, by August. Because we just want to have a happy life.
Sure.
You know, Ron and I just want to have a long life together, and the dogs and his children and our friends and family. And I just want to live like everybody else and enjoy everything.
I'm literally doing this right now.
I know, and if you look
can-
at her Facebook page tonight,
I can imagine.
you would not realize
Yeah.
she is she puts up these positive messages and positive posts, funny posts, you know.
And how do you wake up in the morning and say, okay, it's a good day? Like, how do you manage to be positive as you are?
I'm sure you're not every day, right? You have your days.
I have my days.
Sure.
I have the moments, but
You're allowed.
I want to live, and this is the only life I know. I only really know transplant life. I don't know what it's like to not have a transplant and take drugs every day, and kind of go to these doctors and have these scars and do this stuff. So I think it's a decision that I could sit down and cry, or I could sit down and enjoy the moments I have. And I'm really appreciative because I have amazing people around me too, which makes it easier. And during dialysis, Snapchat really gets me through it because those filters, I just sit there and it's like looking at me and staring like, what is this girl doing? But I just try to see, and enjoy life every day.
Amazing.
I did. I try to, we try to have fun and do stuff. And I love Disney. I think that helps keep me.
Now, did you go to Disney recently, or did you do something Disney?
We were supposed to, actually, before I got really sick. A little over 3 months ago, like now about 3.5 months ago, I thought I had a cold, but I ended up going to septic shock, having pneumonia, and we were in the hospital. And
That's all you need.
then they told me that I was going to start dialysis, and at that point was really when we were tracking to go on the transplant list. And even then, everyone's like, "You look healthy." I'm like, "Well, that's love glow," and you know, and also it's just I think I'm trying to stay as positive as I can be, and I really feel that Matthew's going to help find my next heart. One of my doctors, it was really hard for me to give this heart because sometimes they look at it like it's an organ, but to me it's a soul.
Sure.
I don't know what it's like to have any other organ. And one of my doctors though held my hand and just really said, Matthew doesn't want you to die with his heart. And after that, that's really what just solidified everything for me. And I said, I'm young and I can do this again. I'm a little scared because now they're reopening you and there's all different things. But I really just want people to know if they're not an organ donor that you really are saving people's lives.
What do they have to do to donate an organ? How simple is it?
They could just go to actually unos.com,
What
which
does it say
is
again?
United Network for Organ Sharing.
Okay.
And from there, you could actually go and see everything and you sign up and it's really quick. You could sign up at the DMV. You could sign up even on your phone now. Apple has an app that you could actually do it with. And I always ask a lot of people when we speak, you know, are you a registered organ donor? And most of them don't say yes. And then if you say, well, are you willing to receive an organ if you needed one? And everyone's hand goes up in the air. But I was 13. I didn't do anything in my life. I just got a virus.
Yeah.
And I just want another second chance, really a third chance at life. So there just needs to be more donors. A lot of people are always asking me, what can I do?
Yeah. I don't think people even realize because I do have it on my driving license.
Yeah.
I am an organ donor. But I think nobody wants to even think about it. You know,
No,
like,
but here's where she comes in because she goes out and she speaks. You don't know, you speak into general organ audiences sometimes, not like an organ donation event, like just to speak to get people to donate.
Yeah, it really depends. I've been very fortunate that I've got to go to speak to doctors, nurses, and I've also been able to speak at the Crest Hollow Country Club to different people and thousands of people in there. So it's really just about sharing my story. And to me, I would have never thought that this is what I'd be doing, but I feel that that's really my mission in life. And I want to help people to really just know you're not alone in this. And there is light after transplant and it's a new normal. And to really just appreciate your life because you never know when it could be your last breath.
You never know.
She's unbelievable because she could just be, I got to go through this, you know, staying at home, watching TV, curled up in the corner. Yet she's still going out and trying to help other people while she's going through this. Adopts her cat. You're going to break into it. It's a dog.
Pebbles, do you think you're a cat?
He's cute. He's adorable. Is there an organ donation event coming up? Like, are there events?
Yeah, so I'm actually part of an organization called Long Island Trio.
Okay.
And if you look up litrio.org, you can go on there. We actually have a Met game coming up in August, and we go there, and it's Organ Donation Awareness Night. I've been very lucky. I know nothing about baseball, just so you know, I'm not a sports person either, except for hockey. I'm an Islanders fan, and I'm an Islanders fan enough that I knew I like Clutter Buck, and I know enough of what I need to know. But we do a lot of those type of events just to spread the word.
Love
and
it.
I should be listed in August, but the craziest thing to me is that I'm hoping, my only hope is I want to wait at home if I can. That I can wait for my organ. And they call me and I'll just be a random place.
Coming down.
Like, hey, you're at the zoo. Well, you need to leave now and it's time to go.
Come on down.
Like, that's nerve-wracking.
Bring your cat.
So, and I'm not even listed yet. Like I have like 15 more tests before I can even get to the point and they evaluate you.
Heart and kidneys
when I get listed, it'll be a dual organ transplant. So it'll be a heart and a kidney transplant. We're meeting with the surgeon on Wednesday.
Okay.
Tomorrow I have another doctor's appointment and then I do my dialysis 3 days a week in between those appointments.
Any help that we can give you at Laughter Saves Lives.
Thank
you.
you.
Just posting events.
Thank you.
You know, no, I love you, and you know, I'm sorry that. In fact, you had an event recently that I was going to go to, and I didn't go.
It's cute. My friends actually
did a fundraiser. I think.
They played a little fundraiser for me. Which
Oh,
was
that
really
was nice.
He sent to, and they did. It was really nice. It was just a nice day. It was really sweet because I got to be around everybody. And I was a bartender for a while. Just right now, I can't do much because this is my chest, but this option for me, the only thing you can't do with an actual catheter is shower properly or swim. But with a fistula, that's a whole other different thing. That's in your arm, permanent. It's a whole other ballgame, you know. So I just try to keep going, and that's why the podcast.
You're an inspiration.
All you can do is keep going.
Yep. Jennifer, you are an inspiration. Thank you for coming in tonight.
It's admiring.
You know, and anything we can do to advertise it, let us know an event or whatever,
Yeah,
and I'll keep
let's
on.
just get the organ donation word out. So
Yeah.
if we can even do an organ donation
Yes.
event, maybe just
Yes.
get the word.
Thank you, Jennifer. What's that? Yeah, oh, definitely. Definitely. All right, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back with comic and Professor Peter Bales.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that 13 years ago was made in my garage to protect my daughter.
Now, all of these lives have been saved thanks to LifeVac. Over 4,000 lives and over 2,000 kids. But still, a child dies every 5 days from choking.
Please, our family is everything to us. Consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today.
Thanks, Dad.
And we're back with Peter Bales. Marquetta Jefferson is still here. A Czech name, Jefferson. Hello, Peter Bales.
Nice to meet you.
You have such inspiring guests on this show.
Don't we?
And I'm watching, I'm feeling guilty. Jennifer was so wonderful.
Oh, she's unbelievable.
Waiting for a liver and a heart transplant.
Unbelievable.
And just smiling. The whole time she's smiling.
She's
It's
smiling.
amazing.
I'm feeling guilty. I'm fighting prickly heat right now.
Right.
And look at the challenges she's got. And the military guest,
Unbelievable.
I'm sitting here thinking, I was at Woodstock. That's kind of similar.
It's kind of,
being in the
maybe,
military.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
But, that's what, Peter, that's what we're trying to do different than other comedy companies or whatever. We're a foundation. We're based on a foundation. And we try to do shows with love. That doesn't mean that if somebody calls, hey, you want to do a show, I give them a price. That's none of my business. But the other day, we had an experience.
We did.
We drove to the Bronx. You ever been to the Bronx, Marquetta?
A long time ago, yes.
Long time ago. Next time you come with us, they'd love to have you, the veterans. And maybe you can bring an animal or two. They'd love that. And we went to the Bronx. It was a Yankee game at 11:30. I still don't know why.
I know. I wasn't clear about that.
Still don't know why. But
11:30 at night?
No, in the morning. And we're going.
Like what?
And I'm like, oh, we're going to hit traffic. And, you turn human a little bit. You're like, oh, I got to drive to the Bronx, and there's going to be traffic, and it's hot. And then you get there, and you go inside, and these guys start wheeling in, missing legs, can't talk. You can see that the military has affected them. And they filled that room.
We did comedy. They laughed. The staff laughed. And John just said it. He does shows with love. I've known you forever. And the things you raise money for are wonderful, wide-ranging. And, you walk the walk. I give you that.
Thank you.
Walk.
Thank you.
John LaRocchia, Laughter Saves Lives. All these terrific events.
Here's some pictures.
I see. We got pictures.
Now, this is the gentleman. What an attitude. You see, this man is missing a leg. All right. If that was me, I'd be crying all day. This guy had a smile on the whole time.
He was laughing right down front.
Oh, he was laughing like crazy. When are you going to interview me? I did a nice little interview with him because we were doing it for the docuseries. Wonderful. Wonderful. But
so much fun.
Normally at St. Albans, John, don't do too long a show, 50 minutes. We went like an hour and 15.
We went, and they were laughing. They could have taken more.
Absolutely.
And you do veterans shows. I do them, and on the way home, I feel good, really, really good.
That's great.
Thanks for these opportunities. Laughter saves lives. It's a cliche, but it's also true. Laughter can save lives.
Yes.
You do great work.
There's the whole crew. Look.
There's the whole crew. There's me.
And we had the most volunteers. Not only did the comics come out, Angela is doing comedy now. She brought the fruit. Her boyfriend paid for the fruit. Ed came. Big Ed, right? His father died in that hospital in 1959, and Ed sponsored the show. He did 5 minutes of comedy. Then he said, I want to take you all out to Arthur Avenue, which is that, and he was going to take us and pay for it. and I had to get home, whatever. But Peter and Peaches went.
Yes. We went, my wife and I went to Arthur Avenue for real Italian food in a restaurant that looked exactly like the restaurant in The Godfather, where he dropped the gun and walked out. Michael, I really felt like I could have been shot at any moment. But I had the best Italian food and heard stories about the old days, which I can talk about. I'm a history professor and a comedian, kind of an odd combination.
You know, I was thinking about that today with you because you didn't grow up in the United States. So Peter is an expert with like all the presidents and history. I think
Don't ask me any questions.
I know, but I'm saying if you hung out with Peter one night and just listened to the history, you know, he tells stories or whatever.
Do you still teach?
I still teach.
Where do you teach?
I teach at Queensborough Community College for the City University of New York, and I use humor in my classes to teach history.
Great. What a combination.
And I've been doing comedy. I started comedy. I was doing Jimmy Carter jokes.
Wow.
That's how long ago I started comedy. And what a combination in life. So much fun.
It is, you know, and you know, I do a little teaching with the firefighters and the cops, and I've been teaching for years. And the comedy is a home run because these guys are not meant to sit in the seats. So when you make them laugh, they're paying attention.
Now I know what's going on. You teach hazardous materials, disposal of stuff.
Not disposal.
To
respond to a hazardous incident.
Okay.
And use all the toys.
And a lot of you are watching at home and looking at John and thinking, how can John possibly teach such a complicated, serious subject?
He's an idiot. Stunad. Of course I do, Peter. I do 45 minutes of comedy, 5 minutes of material. Break. How often do you break with college students? What's the rule?
I go straight through, and sometimes I go 2 hours and 50 minutes. That doesn't mean they stay, but I have to fill the time. No, actually, what you want to do when you're teaching any level, you want to break it up, change subjects, change activities. So it is important to actually take it.
I do with responders. I do 45 minutes, and then a 15-minute break.
Yeah,
that's responders. Now, when I was teaching at the Fire Academy, the FDNY, and I've told this story, I'm sure, on the air a million times. I taught the saltiest of firefighters. And what I mean by that is the rescue companies are the guys that rescue the firefighters. They're the highest level of training. Rope rescue, guys that slide off the buildings, right? So these guys are tough in the classroom. When you say hazardous material, they don't want to be in that classroom.
They don't want to be in that classroom.
You know?
Right.
So they're tough because you give them a break. And now you come out and you go, hey, guys, break is over. They're flipping you the bird. I'm on the phone with my girlfriend. Let me finish this cigar. So you have to build that into the class.
I think I have a fire department analogy for comedy.
Yes.
All right. I've seen this in a couple of movies.
Okay.
Where they pull up and there's a fire. And the veteran, older firefighters are strapping on the gear and ready to run in. And somebody says, sometimes the captain or the head guy goes, hey, let the kids take this one. Let the kids take this one. And my analogy for comedy is when I'm hosting a comedy show, and at the end of the show, there are lots of baskets and raffles that you have to pull that will take half an hour. Yeah. I say, let the kids do this. Let the kids come up here and do the raffles. I'm done.
I'm getting smart. Somebody called me last week to go to Jersey. We're going to do a half-hour comedy, 50 raffles, a half-hour comedy, and then the last 50 raffles. And I said, with knowing I was going to lose the gig probably, I go, no, you're not. I'm not staying around for all those. How about we do 45 minutes of comedy up front, and then we go home. And she said, we'll think about it. Nobody called me.
Well, now let the kids handle the raffles because they can go on for 45 minutes.
You had your family handling the raffles at the last event.
They did.
Smooth and perfect.
They did. Yeah, my family was great.
Job.
Yeah. It was great.
By the way, a little trivia here. I taught John's daughter in history class.
And this is amazing. Only $100 he takes to get an A. I was surprised. I go, Peter, 250. He goes, Peter, only 100.
And she was smart and talented. I couldn't believe it, given,
No, Christina. No, here's the thing. She said to me, she knew Peter from before because, she came to comedy shows, and Peter and I have been friends. We're friends.
Yeah.
We don't talk on a regular hangout, but I consider him one of my friends in the comedy business because I can call on him and ask him anything. And Christina said, oh, yeah, I got to take an elective. She goes, let me take Peter's class. That'll be an easy A.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's Peter's class. And then she comes home after about a few weeks and she goes, he's making me do a lot of work.
I do.
But she said, the best class I ever took.
That's nice.
Best class I ever took.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I would like to take that class. He came. Do you remember when you came to St. Albans? And I said, Peter, just come and do like 25 minutes of comedy. He never got to comedy.
Oh, yeah.
He started talking about little things about every president in the United States. They were glued. They were asking questions. I was asking questions. It was so cool.
I can do that. I didn't even get to my act.
Yeah. And
I love history, and I don't think we have to take it so seriously. By the way, speaking of history,
yes,
I just got back from Dallas, Texas. I went to the site where President Kennedy had been assassinated, and they actually have a white X spray painted
they do
on the busy road,
right,
Dealey Plaza. And young people dressed in cut-off jeans and tank tops are running out in the busy road and taking selfies
on the X.
All right. And I did that, and I'm the one who gets arrested. And I said to the cop, why are you arresting me? I mean, look at them. They're not dressed up. I took the time to actually dress up in a costume from the time period and take this seriously. And the cop goes, yeah, but you're dressed as Marilyn Monroe. So I see your producer, Butch.
Oh, look at
hello, Butch.
Look at the background.
Oh, no, look at that.
You know what that is? Do you know what that is?
That is 78th Street. I can see the sign.
Oh, I was going to say Metropolitan Avenue, 78th Street, back in the 50s and 60s, the La Rocchia Luncheonette. Grandpa, my dad, and my uncle was the first place I saw stand-up comedy. They made people laugh. The food there, I think, was, but people came in for the entertainment. Sanitation trucks lined up at lunch. Look at the cars. We have another picture of that. And you can see the trolley car coming into the picture. And you see this, you can see it. See on the top? That's not the roof of the store. That is the roof of the firehouse.
That is behind. I love that stuff. Always, people at home.
Thanks, Bob.
If you have old photographs, date them, because later on we're going to be looking at them wondering what's the year.
Oh, there it is. Look on the right-hand side. Just coming. Well, this side. No, this side.
It says A and
just coming into the picture.
That's an A and P market.
Just wait. Right on the side over there, right? You see, Peter? Yeah. That's a trolley car coming into the picture. That's right there.
That is a trolley car.
And look at the cars parked. This is an older picture, right? Look at the cars now. What are they from? The 1950s? Those cars?
That's got to be the 50s.
Isn't that a cool picture?
50s to me. It's a very cool
well, I should get out of the way, but
the 50s.
I get all excited because that was my grandmother and such memories. Johnny, I come in, go in the kitchen and have a meatball. I stand over the pot with salt, deep dive into the meat. Then before you left, what a childhood. This is the little things. Before you left, my grandmother look at me and go, take a piece of candy. Like they had the candy rack. And then as I got older, 13, they were kind of going downhill. I would make egg creams, line them up for the kids after school.
Egg creams. They don't even make egg creams anymore.
Peter, there is a luncheonette like that still in Forest Hills. There was a Michael Jackson commercial shot there once. Just like my family's luncheonette still makes egg creams right in Forest Hills.
It still exists?
Still exists.
Wow.
Think of the name of it.
Wow.
We should do a show there, a little show or something.
A live remote from the La Rocchia.
Well, the La Rocchia Luncheonette is gone. It's a 5 and 10 store now.
Wait. A 5 and 10?
Yeah.
People don't even know what you're talking about Woolworths, but Woolworths doesn't exist anymore.
What is they called now? Dollar store.
Dollar store.
Dollar
Look at
store.
the.
Did I say
Do you see what just happened?
Wow, I dated myself.
Did he date himself or what?
And there's only one person here who knew what I was talking about.
I knew exactly what you were talking
So you
about.
dated yourself?
I know darn well. What you.
She didn't know. She didn't know. She was in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I was not even born yet.
By the way, it's Eddie's Sweet Shop in
That's
Forest
it.
Hills.
That is it, Butch.
Hey, there's Butch. Hi, Butch.
Eddie's Sweet Shop. We should do a trip there. We should do something there.
What is it? Egg cream?
It's at 10529 Metropolitan Avenue.
It's right west of the Belt Parkway. It's like right off the Belt. Not the Belt, the Jackie Robinson, like over there.
The LaRocchia Luncheonette.
All right, guys, our time is up.
Already?
Yes.
I just got here.
Anything.
I know. And if Richie watches this, he's going to yell at me. You didn't let Maqueta talk. Butch, thank you for throwing the show together last minute. Maqueta, thank you for filling in for Richie with his medical problems. HIPAA and Peter Bales.
I am there for you, my man.
Peter Bales.
Long Island Comedy. He's going to be doing a show right here. Can we say it? Can we say that?
Say it right here. Absolutely. Jackie Marling and I.
2 weeks.
Stand Up Memories starting in 2 weeks right here.
Paradise Studios.
Paradise Studios, baby.
Look it up. Find it. It's very, very good show. We'll be back. We're taking next week off. And we'll be back the following week with guests that we will book a half hour before the show.
Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July.
4th of July, everybody. Yay. We're going to the Master Frequent Diner. Good night.
Bye.
How come I'm getting cut off up there?